Welcome back to another video tutorial. This one's going to show you just the basics of painting. Now painting is quite easy and we've all done it somewhere along the line, but there's a couple little tricks just to make sure that we have a nice finish to our job. Otherwise all our hard work gets wasted. Now you guys in the Brief House project are going to be using the red, blue and yellow as those primary colours. The advice I have, if you can see here, is that we want either to get all warm colours or all cool colours. It looks a bit silly if you get a warm blue and then a cool yellow because the contrast isn't quite right. So I don't mind if you want to use the cool range of primary colours or the warm range, as long as you stick to all the warm colours or all the cool colours. So what I've got here is just all the warm colours. I'm just going to show you how to use one, but what we do is we get newspaper everywhere. So we are not painting onto our benches, and we also make what we call a little palette, which is just one piece folded over a couple of times so that we can make our palette full of our paint. So we just put out a little bit that we need to use. So I'm just going to place some of the warm red out there. Always put a little bit less than you think you need, because you can always put more out, but it's very hard to get it back into the bottle. Find ourselves a nice brush, make sure that it's been rinsed out properly, otherwise you can rinse it out. And very simply, you're just going to coat your paintbrush and then you're going to paint it onto your timber. Now most of you might do something like this, which is just, you know, how you might have been taught to paint just all over different directions. What I want to encourage you to do is pick one direction and stick to it. So rather than going like this and using it like a colouring pencil, just paint back and forth in the one direction. That way we can get a nice even coat. As well, if you put way too much paint on one section, it'll take a very long time to dry and it will bring up a bit of a raised surface. Also, if you don't put enough paint on a section, it's going to start to show the timber through. So it's trying to get that balance of having a nice even coat all the way over your timber. So you can see that middle section is quite nice there. And then we've gone a little bit light down there, but that's okay because this is our test piece. And then you'd also want to just grab a little bit and do your edges on the top there. There you can see. And so that's sort of what a nice finished piece of timber would be. This is just a test piece, but you'd have that nicely coated, the entire thing completely finished, all the edges done. You wouldn't paint on the underside until it has dried off, so you get a nice even coat, making sure that it's okay just to go back that way, but then finish off with the strokes that you've been using the whole time. You then take it over to your drying rack, which is just simply nails in a bit of timber, and then we can sort of show you this edge here. Finish that off on the edge, and then we can place that down sitting over on the edge there, and you let it dry until next lesson, and then you can flip it over if you want to paint both sides.